Well, what is going on? Welcome back to Clayton Schick Outdoors. Of course, I'm Clayton Schick. This is the beautiful outdoors. Well, right now it's beautiful anyways. There is a storm on the way, but we're up early trying to sneak out for a couple of hours for a morning fish. I'm up in one of the places that I remember growing up as a child and visiting lots, the Duck Mountains. There's so many different lakes and opportunities. We'll talk about that more as we go, but today's target is smallmouth bass and walleye. I just had some geese right here on the shore with their babies. I got flat calm conditions right now. StarCraft is in the water. I'm stoked. It's absolutely gorgeous out right now. There's something about those early mornings, like when it's just all dead still, quiet. I love the outdoors, so beautiful. Anyways, StarCraft. Oh, and before I forget, go to my Instagram page right now. By the way, happy Father's Day, because this is a Father's Day video right now, but we are doing a Catch and Cook giveaway. I teamed up with Catch and Cook, and we're doing 3 giveaways on my Instagram page. So go there for all the details of how you can win an awesome Catch and Cook package. Yes, now let's go fishing. I wish I had more than just a few hours before the rain and probably the wind and the storm rolls in, because I always forget how much I love the crystal clear water of the docks. I am so pumped for today. Like, oh, let's get in the boat. Let's get some fish. We are good to go. Apparently, I think from what I saw on the radar, one system's supposed to come through and then a little bit of a sunny break again, and then another system, so a bigger system. So hopefully we can put some fish in before the first system comes through, and then if there's not too much rain, fish through it. I'm not scared to fish in the rain. Cameras just obviously aren't very good in the rain. I'm going to start with a twitch bait. I've got a Ned rig ready as well. Smallies is the goal for sure, but I will take some big shallow walleye too though. Shoreline is going to be the objective. I'm guessing some shallow rocks, hopefully. We shall see. We shall see. Don't really know what to expect yet. I have fished this lake once before. I do remember catching lots of little pike. So I'm running a 14-pound fluorocarbon leader right now to hopefully stop some of the bite-offs. Okay, yep. That did not take long on the pause. Is it going to be a smallie or is it going to be a pike? Or I guess it could be a walleye, but no, it's definitely a pike. I feel like I'm going to catch probably mostly small pike today. Actually, shouldn't say that. Once I get into the smallies, I'll crush the smallies. Okay, one little pike. I need to get a towel ready. That one might be a bass. No, it's a pike. Jeez. 3 casts, 3 fish, 3 pike. What do we got? It's a pike. We're on the pikes. We are on the pikes. Big pike master right here. That was awesome. I paused that there for a while. It is a smallie. I paused it in those weeds. I got him foul hooked, but that's my first smallie of the day. Nice. Well, that's definitely my targeted species of the day. I'm pumped to get a smallie in the boat. I'm gonna take a quick measurement of what I'm thinking about. 16 inches, maybe 15. 16 inches it is. Awesome. Smallies. See, I catch more than walleye. All I've been basically doing is just kind of blind casting along here the shoreline, catching mostly pike. And I saw a couple pieces of cabbage, some weeds, and I just brought it over real slow. I just was reeling it, twitch, and I just paused it for like 2 or 3 seconds there. And when I went to go kind of like snap it again, I could tell that there was some weight on it. And I just leveled him. Well, he leveled me. I didn't level him. Let's be honest. He ate the bait and got it sideways and got foul hooked as he was eating it. So it's easy, right? It's easy when the fish catch themselves. That's a little tiny bass. I don't want to really catch him, but that's crazy. I spooked him. Look, he's so small. That's so cute. Okay, well, they're sunning themselves on some rocks maybe. I should have my other rod probably ready to go in case I see a bigger one. Oh, that's a bass on these rocks. I don't know much about bass fishing, but I know rocks can be good. This one's smaller than the first one. I will net them though so I don't take a hook in the hand, I think. Just, see, it's definitely smaller than the last one. Like I said, smaller than the last one, but thick. I don't know, maybe getting ready to spawn. Like I said, I don't know a pile about bass. I'm pretty sure their spawn is soon. So we will definitely be releasing everyone today. So like I've stated a few times already, I know very little about bass fishing. I know the minimum. One thing though I know to look for early season is rocks, and it's probably smallies for the most part. All year you can catch them on rocks, but rocks hold a lot of heat in early season. And yeah, I just know that that's a good place to start. So if you can find some boulders, rock ledges, anything like that, I know that you'll probably come across some smallies. And generally they'll be shallow in early season, like 1 to 4 feet from what I understand. You don't have to fish them deeper until later season. So yeah, so far so good. I do have my Livescope going and running, but it hasn't been a factor at all. It's not like I was like, oh, there's a fish, I've cast to it. Right now it's been all just blind casting, and I'm using a little twitch bait here, a Maverick I'll show off later from Rapala, and I'm just throwing it out, just twitching it back, going like twitch, twitch, pause for a little bit, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause. And one of the fish, the first one I caught, was on a pretty long pause. The second one I can't actually recall what I was doing at the time. Pike. Nope, 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 nope. Pulling away from the pikes. Oh, there's a bass. There's a bass. That's a bass. That's a bass. That's a bass. That's a bass. Okay. Maybe this shoreline. I just saw another one follow here a little bit ago, and boom, about third cast later, another bass. I don't want to net all these fish, but I also don't want to take a treble hook in the hand right now. Another one of the targeted species today, probably a 15-incher. Oh, I love their red eyes. They're so cool. Oh, pike. That was so picturesque in those trees like that. That'd have been amazing if that was a bass, but no, just a pike. Bass? It is a bass. That's my first fish on the Livescope today that I actually saw swimming. So I pitched out a Ned bait and boom, nailed them. Okay, it's probably net you. You might be the biggest of the day. Just pulling myself off the shore here a little bit first. I'll get a quick measure on him after, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest of the day. I'm thinking 16 and a half, maybe 17. Mouth shut, 16 and a half. Well, for not catching many bass, I can kind of tell the size anyway. So like I said, I've mostly been fishing just kind of blind down the shoreline, casting a jerk bait, but I did see one on the Livescope, so I just pulled out my Ned rod real quick, tossed it out, and it didn't take long, and he sucked it up. So I kind of wish I'd have came down this shoreline here first, because I've seen a couple more bass. Maybe I'd have been able to sight fish them or something like that when the sun was out, but that system is slowly creeping up on me. You can tell that the air temperatures dropped just a little bit, which is usually never good for fishing. Sometimes right before a storm can really turn them on, but usually once that air temperature starts to drop, it drops the surface temperature obviously quick too, and it can definitely push them off of the shallow bank into a little bit deeper water because it cools off so quick. But we'll keep plugging along here. Still no walleye, but the bass fishing, I think I've landed 3 or 4 now, 4 I think, so it's been good. Oh boy, oh boy. I went to hit the talon and I got whacked by a walleye right there. Okay. I thought I would just kind of cast this windblown little shoreline here, a little hump type of thing, and lean down to anchors with my talon, and nice walleye. Okay, the suspended bite is key. 22 and a half. Well, the second target species, the walleye, 22 and a half incher. Scrawny one, but I'm not picky. The suspended jerkbait bite has definitely been the best, like especially when I just hover it there for a little bit, is good. Oh, fish is coming up to it. Come on. That was cool. I turned the Livescope to see if I could get the hit on the underwater, or on the I turned the Livescope to see if I could get the hit of the walleye, because it came up to it and then the boat was drifting. But again, the pause, the walleye seemed to like the pause. A 21 3/4, little shorter than the last one, 21 3/4, but a little bit healthier, thick one. If it wasn't trying to get the shot on the, like to record it for the video, I would have just blind fished it after I got that fish to come up. But like I said, I was trying to be able to capture it for the video. But once the boat was starting to turn, I know that fish was on it, I just would have blind fished it, right? Like jerked it, let it pause, jerked it, let it pause. But as soon as I turned it to him, he had eaten it on one of the pauses already. This has been the hot bait so far. A Rapala Maverick 110 suspending. I've got a number 0 snap on there, and yeah, hot bait so far. I'm just like I said, I'm ripping it, pausing it, ripping it, pausing it. Look at that, it's coming up. Look at that, look at that, he's rising right off the bottom to it. He's even moving it. It's hardly twitching to get his attention. Turn so I can see it. He actually ate it. He ate it. He came up and ate it. Had a little bit of slack line, so I didn't feel it as much until he went down a little bit with it. Well, that's 3 really nice walleye. Oh, awesome. Look at the back on that one. 21 3/4. Came for the bass, stayed for the walleye. This whole Duck Mountain region is just so amazing. It's a special place for me. I really wanted to come here for my Father's Day video, just for the fact that this was one of the locations where my dad brought me when I was little, and like you got that whole fishing bug, and just for the outdoors in general, right? Like just being in these crystal clear water. We'd come here with my great aunt and uncle, and like I said, my parents, and we'd go hit a different lake every day. We'd go one day and do rainbow trout, and then we go do some Arctic char, pike, walleye. We used to camp at Wellman all the time, which is a beautiful area. There never used to be any smallies in there. Now there's smallmouth bass in there. We always went to just fish for walleye and pike. But like I said, it's being a Father's Day, it's special in that sense. So thank you, Dad. Means a lot. Okay, I'm not going to get choked up at all. But I think for anybody else that's out there too, like whether you're a father or a father figure, right? Like taking your kids out to, you know, to places like this will help them grow some memories that are going to last forever. I know it sounds so cliche and so cheesy, but they won't forget it. I promise you. We got some more suspended fish out here. 4 of them, 55, 60 feet. Well, they're kind of suspended, right? Like they're suspended a couple feet off the bottom. So we're going to throw the twitch bait at them here and see if we can get them to rise up. This is actually like super fun to fish the jerk bait in this scenario, because you get to see fish come up. There's the jerk bait. I'm a little bit to the right of those fish, so I might not get any. I might have to recast here. We'll see. We'll see. Oh no, this one's coming. This one's coming. This one's coming. Little jerks, little jerk, 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 boom. Man, fun. There's an eater-sized walleye right there. But we're gonna let him go. We're not keeping any fish today. Most people come to the Duck Mountains for stock trout, but there's some excellent walleye fishing in a couple of the lakes as well. And some big walleyes too. Okay, we could try throwing a plastic at these fish a little bit too. I always preach it, it's good to kind of change up baits. I'm still on those walleyes and kind of weeded through the ones that would hit the jerk bait. Now I'm gonna try plastic a little bit and see if we can catch any of them. Tried plastic for a little bit. Those fish really just seem to want a jerk bait today more than anything. They want that long, hard pause. Slip bobber might be really good in this situation where they want that bait upwards. You could throw it out and just leave it out there, let the wind take it, fish it slowly in type of thing. But if those fish want to come up for it, a slip bobber could definitely work on a day like today with probably a minnow, I'd say. Where I am, I got to use a dead minnow, but some people down obviously in the States could use a live minnow. Okay. Unbelievable how much they want this jerk bait over anything else right now. They want that slow retrieve and they want to come up to it. Oh, this is a bass, this one. Okay, well I got bass too. The jerk bait's hot for everything. Bass and the walleye and the pikes. Nice. Get in here, buddy. Fat one. You got some rain on this camera maybe. Look at that, a nice chunky pot belly 16-incher. Oh, so good. That's a little fatty, that guy. The last 4 fish have been walleye, bass. No more pike lately. This is good. I know I've talked about this Maverick so far. It's been really good, but just to let you also know I'm running a 14-pound fluorocarbon leader, and then this is 20-pound Sufix 832. This rod actually is a newer Elliot rod they just came out with last year. This is a performance bass. So the biggest difference between like a bass and a walleye rod is a medium light bass rod, which this one is actually medium power. So we'll use it, for example, from a medium power bass rod to a medium power walleye rod. Is your bass rod is going to be just a little bit stiffer than your walleye rod is. I get asked like lots of times like, what kind of rod should I get for like a pike? And if I tell somebody, well, you know, a medium heavy or a heavy whatever, that could be different from a bass rod to a pike rod to a muskie rod, etc. Like a heavy muskie rod is almost too much for a pike rod for the most part. That being said, there's certain applications where you can use it, but there are different like rod blanks for species of fish. So a medium bass rod isn't the same as a medium walleye rod, if that makes sense. They're close, but they're a little bit different. Anyway, this is an Elliot rod, performance bass, 7.2 medium power, extra fast action. Is it designed for this jerkbait? I have no clue. Like I said, I know very, very little about bass fishing. Heck, sometimes I feel I know very little about any type of fishing. I just kind of make it up as I go. But so far, this rod has been good. I can cast the bait a long ways. It keeps the fish pinned. The extra fast action is good for giving the rod, the jerkbait, the twitches. And it also has pretty good feel. So I'm feeling them like pick it up when it is suspending there. So things are good. Things are real good. See, you don't need Livescope. You can fish them blind. You can fish it blind. What's that fun? So much fun. Another golden marble eye. We've been hammering the walleyes. And not that the bass fishing hasn't been that bad either. I've done pretty good for the bass too. For the most part, I'm casting out about 70, 80 feet and then just twitching it back. The long pauses though have been key, I would say. That thing absolutely rocked me. Man, are these walleyes aggressive. Oh, wow. Thing hammered me. Like I've already said in this video, most people don't know that there's actually some pretty awesome walleye fishing in the Duck Mountains too, and big ones. Aaron Weeb, Uncut Angling, posted a video a couple years ago where he went splake fishing on Lori Lake, and he caught like a 31-inch walleye on one of the blue lakes later in the day. Like, I think it's a 31, something like that, huge. There's big walleye in the Duck Mountains too, and it's something somewhere I need to spend more time, somewhere I need to bring Cindy because she loves to see the clear water, and I think we need to kind of revisit some of my old camping memories and bring her up here at some point. It just has to be warmer. It's been too cold for her, and that's why she hasn't been on many videos yet. It hasn't been a very nice spring so far. Just blind cast to a bass. Blind cast to a bass. This is so much fun. Wow. I love this lake. Bass, walleye, bass, good day. A little bit smaller one, but man, chunky. Bass maybe? No, walleye again. Smaller walleye. That's a smaller walleye I caught today. That's good to see, right? You want to see some smaller ones like these in this lakes too, to make sure that the future population is going to be strong. 55 feet. Oh, they eat the Ned rig too. But there was also like 5 or 6 of them on the screen way out there, so that always helps, right? Thinking walleye again. Yeah. Came for the bass, stayed for the walleye. Ned rig. These walleyes remind me of like northern Manitoba golden walleyes. Oh, they're beautiful. Right on the bottom, this one, or these last couple I should say. It's more than one way to skin a cat. This is a big rod for these, it feels like, but it catches them. Man, so many, like 20 to 22 inches, beautiful fish. Yeah, that was so fun. Cast it out, let it sink down to him, and just let it sit on the bottom. Ned rig's been good today too now. Very good. A little bit nicer walleye. Probably the biggest walleye of the day. Oh, nice. Oh, he tail slaps. He's mad. Biggest of the day. A beautiful, chunky 23.5. I'm glad that I was able to kind of switch over to walleye once the sun went away. Once I lost all my sun, I feel like the smallies kind of moved out of the shallows, I think, for the most part. I also got on a hot walleye bite that maybe I could go back to the shallows and chase the smallies again. And not that this isn't the shallows either. I'm fishing in like 8-10 feet, but originally I was catching the smallies in like 1 to 3, 4 feet type of thing. I can just feel that thud. I just casted it out. That's that one. Whoops. I watched on the Livescope 100% go down to it, and then I just turned and just focused on it, right, and just hardly moved it. So I saw that I pitched it to it. I saw the walleye, saw the bait, and then I just blind fished it, as in like just watch my rod tip and look for the rod tip to see if it moves or for feel, and all of a sudden just funk. I really feel like it's important with Livescope. Even if you're watching the fish on your bait, like, don't forget to fish by feel a lot of times too, right? Like, yeah, it's great, you casted to it, but don't turn your head away from your rod tip. As Manny Malias would say, you know, he watches his rod tip. I don't know about you, Aaron, but I'm a rod tip watcher, or whatever, the way he says it. Or maybe he says I'm a line watcher, but either way, Manny says it best, that you have to watch your rod tip, right? Like, watch your line, watch your rod tip, because You can't always, even though on the Livescope it looks like the fish went to it, it doesn't tell you if they ate it. You have to use your sight and your feel for it. So don't stay glued to that screen the whole time. Use it to your advantage, but then know when to turn away from it as well. That's fun. I think I've caught fish like 6, 7 casts in a row. It's crazy. Lots of fun there. These walleyes are insane. Like fast and furious walleye action. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. It's probably has something to do with that storm that's rolling in. The wind's changed directions on me right now, almost 180 degrees. That's pretty much my cue that I should get on the road, I think. That is a fat, healthy walleye right there. Oh, that's amazing. I should note that you really have to pay attention to all the regulations for all the lakes and the ducks, whether it's some lakes are trolling motor only, some lakes have a strict catch and release policy where there's no fish to be kept. A lot of them have reduced limits on fish, so make sure you really know the regulation for each lake that you're on. It is Manitoba, so of course it's barbless, and yeah, like I said, there's just other regulations to really pay attention to. A lot of times it's listed at each lake, there'll be a sign, but all you have to do is just do some research ahead of time. Another really cool thing is that Angler's Edge mapping has at least 14 of the lakes mapped in the Duck Mountain region. So you can, depending on what lake you're going to, right, you can download it on the Avenza apps, or you can buy a map chip card, anything like that as well. But Angler's Edge has spent a lot of time in the Duck Mountains, and I definitely recommend it. Last time I came up into the ducks with Carter, we used it on one of the lakes. I don't know whether I mentioned the lake or not. Again, for this one, I'm not going to mention the lake just because there's so many different lakes out here. You can do your research, and there's only Smallies in so many of the lakes, so you can kind of narrow it down to which one I was on today. But I think it's just really important when you come up here to pay attention to all the regulations and just respect the fishery like you would if it was your home body of water, because there are some locals that live in this area, right? Some 24/7, and these are their home bodies of water, right? So you're traveling to their home bodies of water. Just respect the resource and take care of them, but come enjoy this place, because the clear water, the evergreens, all that stuff is just, it's beautiful. Like every time I come here, I always tell myself I have to come here more often and not make it like twice a year or once a year. I got to spend more time in the ducks. It's just, it's gorgeous. I catch myself just like looking around every so often. Like the geese this morning on the dock with their little gooselings were just so cool. Oh, what a life. One more fish, and it's time to go home. I'm gonna catch my last fish with a jerk bait. Maybe I can get a bass up shallow. Yeah, that's what I wanted to end with right there. No, I gotta throw a few more. Who am I kidding? A few more. Bass, baby. Oh, that was awesome. Biggest of the day, 17-incher. Still an inch away from a Manitoba master angler, but I'll take it. Awesome. That one I got to watch chased by the boat, and I just let it suspend and sucked it up. There was no point getting greedy. Like I said, the wind has changed. I said I just wanted to catch one more fish. I even said let's pick up the jerk bait and try shallow for a bass, and bang, like 1 or 2 casts later and we caught a bass. So don't forget to go to my Instagram, Clayton Schick Outdoors. All the details to enter the Catch and Cook giveaway will be there. A very, very special happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, or any father figure. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much as always. And don't forget, get outside.